Islam Makhachev. What's up? Why are you ducking from big dog Ilia Topuria? Is it because you know that we'll flatline you stiff and turn you into Sleeping Beauty? If that's the case, then it's cool. Be my guest. Just know that all it is ducking and dodging can't keep you safe for long. And no matter who you fight or what you say, Ilia Topuria is on his way. Alright, also look. Ooh, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the recent fiasco that's been happening in the MMA community pertaining Islam Makhachev, coming out to say that before their inevitable clash, he wants to first see Ilia Topuria take on a top 5 ranked lightweight contender before giving him a shot at the lightweight strap. And so my question to y'all is, does Islam seem to be scared to take on the former 145-pound king, or is he just delaying the inevitable? But with all that being said, without further ado, let's get right in to the video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can help me reach 2,000 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look. At this point, it's becoming increasingly clear that Islam Makhachev is in real life, in real time, ducking Ilia Topuria. And so you see, recent reports have come out from Islam Makhachev's camp suggesting that the current pound-for-pound king has turned down a fight with the former featherweight champion of the world, insisting that Topuria must first rack up a win against a current top 5 lightweight contender before even earning his chance at the lightweight strap and ultimately taking on the king of daggy rats himself, the one and only Islam Makhachev. However, though, this change in tune sort of seems kind of contradictory, given Islam Makhachev's previous statements about fighting the best in the world regardless of who's standing in front of him. And so let's take it back to October of 2023, when it was just announced that Islam Makhachev would be taking on Alexander Volkanovski on short notice due to the sudden injury of Charles Oliveira, Charles du Bronx, where Islam Makhachev gave the quote that resonated with Uncle Fester so much that he even got it plastered on the wall of the UFC PI, where Islam goes, and I quote, "What does this title represent? It means that you're the best in the world, and if you're the best in the world, it doesn't matter who's going to be standing across from you." What do I say? No, never. Let's do this. So, what happened to that mentality, Islam? Is it because you're not facing an 8-day short notice 35-year-old off the couch pillow hands Alexander Volkanovski, who you already beat? You're kinda looking like a hypocrite, buddy. And now with Ilia Topuria officially vacating his featherweight belt and moving up to the lightweight division, there is no more justification for delaying what could be the most stylistically compelling matchup in recent MMA history. So you see, the argument that Topuria hasn't yet earned his shot at 155-pound gold is sort of flawed when considering his resume. I mean, we're talking about the same cat who's coming off of 2 back-to-back wins against pound-for-pound greats in Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski, respectfully, both of whom he finished in stupendous dominant fashion. And while these victories did come at the featherweight division, they still carry a significant amount of weight, particularly given that Max Blessed is currently ranked within the UFC's top 5 across both the featherweight and lightweight divisions, and Alexander Volkanovski, on the other hand, is considered the greatest featherweight of all time. Meanwhile, it's also been in the talks that Islam Makhachev is reportedly pushing for a fight against Justin the Highlight Gaethje, who in and of himself was brutally flatline stiffened by Max Blessed 2 bouts back. And so, if Justin the Highlight is considered worthy of a title shot off of a win against Fiziev despite his loss against Max Blessed, then how can Ilia Topuria, the man who dismantled Max Blessed, be considered unworthy? Shit don't make no sense to me. But with all that being said, I do kind of see where Islam's coming from, a little bit. I mean, Ilia Topuria has defended his featherweight title only once before moving up, whereas most champions are expected to dominate their divisions before even thinking about making a jump up to a higher weight class and fighting for that champ status. I even made a video voicing my opinions on the Islam versus Ilia matchup and how I didn't want it to happen just quite yet. I wanted to first see Ilia El Matador defend his featherweight title and, maybe take on these new and hungry, deserving prospects like a Diego Lopez as well as a Movsar Evloev before even entertaining a super fight with Islam Makhachev. Additionally though, at the same time, Islam Makhachev has in the past taken on some criticism for fighting Alexander Volkanovski on 2 separate occasions, a featherweight champion making his move up. And so to Islam, it must have felt as if, he had taken on El Matador immediately after he moved up to the 155-pound division. It would stir up, similar headlines that, Islam's only fought current and former 145ers. When is he going to take on a pure and true lightweight contender? However, though, I do think that the key difference here is that Ilia El Matador has fully committed to the lightweight division now. I mean, for Christ's sake, he's freaking vacated his title. While, during the Volkanovski saga, Volk was still an active featherweight champion during both of his fights against Islam Makhachev. So that means that it removes the champion versus champion narrative and frames Ilia El Matador as a legitimate contender within the lightweight division. And so I believe that the UFC appears to already recognize the magnitude of a fight like this getting made like this. And despite Islam Makhachev's reluctance, they have yet to book Ilia El Matador Topuria against another opponent. To me, kind of signaling that they're already keen on making this matchup happening very, very soon. Taking that into account, the reality is that if Meritocracy decided who gets the title shot next, then Arman Tsarukyan would realistically be next in line, given that he's kinda the #1 contender. However, after the stunt he pulled during UFC 311, I don't think that Arman Tsarukyan is necessarily in the good graces of Uncle Fester. And so, with him out of the equation and the UFC unlikely to book another Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, Charles do Bronx fight immediately, even though it realistically could happen, there's no viable fight for Islam Makhachev that makes more sense than Ilia El Matador Topuria. But let's just say Islam Makhachev were to end up fighting off against Justin the Highlight next. Even though I do not hate that matchup whatsoever, considering that Gaethje is fresh new blood for Islam Makhachev, the move will likely be met with a bunch of backlash from the MMA community. I mean, while Justin the Highlight is a fan favorite, he is coming off of a knockout loss to a featherweight 2 bouts back, making it kind of hard to justify his place in the title picture. And so the biggest fight that not only the MMA fans want to see, but even your mother, dog, and hamster wants to see is Makhachev versus Topuria. And so I think if Islam Makhachev continues to duck Ilia El Matador, he kinda risks diminishing his credibility as a dominant champion who fights with anyone, anytime, anywhere. And so with the lightweight division sort of thriving on its best fighters challenging one another at their peaks, right now in today and age's current mixed martial arts, Ilia El Matador Topuria is at his absolute prime. And so while some may argue that Ilia El Matador should at least get one lightweight win before challenging for the title, the reality is that his record as well as his performances speak for themselves. And if he does decide to take on a top 5 contender before challenging for the lightweight belt, I think taking into consideration the circumstances, a fight against Arman Tsarukyan could serve as the best possible title eliminator bout. However, I've got really high hopes that Ilia El Matador will eventually be getting his shot at the King of Daggy Rats. And once he does, this fight will undoubtedly be one of the biggest and most stylistically intriguing matchups in recent MMA memory, and I can promise you that. And so, at this stage, it's really not a question of if Islam Makhachev will take on Ilia Topuria. It's more of a question of when. And so, the longer Islam keeps ducking, delaying, and sprinting, Usain Bolt style, the more it appears that he do not want to fight with Ilia El Matador Topuria. But at the end of the day, there's nowhere left to run, Islam Makhachev. And not only are we hunting you down, the Ilia El Matador supremacy is kind of just inevitable. But that's all I've got to say for this video. let me know in the comment section below, what are your guys' thoughts on Islam Makhachev coming out to say that he does not want to take on Ilia unless he takes on a top 5 lightweight contender first? Y'all think he's ducking? Because I surely do. Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.